Welcome everybody. Oh, were you gonna do that?
I was gonna say hello, and you said welcome, and I messed it all up.
I messed it up.
Yes, you messed it up. This is Rosie, Crazy Rosie. I'm Bethany. This is Sparky, and this is Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. Here we go. This is episode
144.
You guys can ask questions by messaging us directly, just through DMs. And if you're commenting on a video on YouTube, sometimes we take those questions as well. We certainly try to.
We definitely got a couple today.
Woohoo! You said that with...
Hi, Rosie.
Hello. And you can also put your...
Her tongue went in my
Look
nose.
what you did. Look, I had her all chill as possible could be. Rosie, hey, Rosie. All
She
right.
also just got spayed, so she just got fixed. Dogs tend to show a little bit of kind of crazy energy after they get that spay fur.
Yeah, I'm sure.
little bit.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah. It's definitely not the over-affection because they just got spayed and get a lot of cuddle time.
It's definitely not the breed at all. The breed's not like this at all.
Another thing you guys need to do too is if we're answering your question and you happen to be live, we love the back and forth. So if you want to give a response to our answer to it, we'll definitely try to follow up as often as we can.
Shh. And make sure you give us age and breed of the puppy because it matters the type of... Okay,
and we have a special announcement. We have a free puppy biting workshop. It's going to be Wednesday, April 3rd at 1 p.m. Pacific time. I'll say that one more time. Wednesday, April 3rd at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Register through the link. I'm literally looking at Rosie as well. You picked the nuttiest dog, Kimberly. She's a nut. She's like a straight line. She's so firm. Bye, Rosie. We really love you.
Bye,
we
Rosie.
really do.
If I had a leash and food, she's really great, but apparently not to hold calmly on the couch for the show.
You can register for that free workshop in our link, which is in our bio.
And you guys have seen us calm down some puppies, man, but...
You had her a couple weeks ago when she was calm.
Really?
We did have her a few weeks ago. She was calm.
She was biting something and you showed how to remove it.
Oh, that was her. She was biting the paper.
She was biting the paper.
Calm. Yeah, it could be the spay. I guess you were right.
Very likely. She's probably got a little bit of built-up energy. She's using it.
All right, let's dive right in. We did speaking of our amazing workshop that's coming up on puppy biting. Oh, amazing. Maybe I'm overstating it. Maybe I should
Let's wait till after and then we'll say it was amazing if it was.
Okay.
It will be amazing.
This is dealing with puppy biting. CRS says, very helpful. A couple questions. You mentioned that a hike is very different than a neighborly walk. What do you mean by that? And what's the earliest stage you'd recommend taking a puppy out for a neighborly walk or a hike? Those are great questions, CRS. What I meant by the difference, I think I said that. What I meant by the difference between a walk and a hike is that a hike, I'm not constantly trying to re-engage my puppy with me. I'm not trying to make myself number one in this puppy's life every 5 seconds. When I go out on my walk, I want, if I envision my 1-year-old dog is walking next to me, walking by people. People are getting out of their cars, putting groceries in their house. The dog runs out of the car. I mean, you just got all these distractions, dogs behind a fence. My puppy has so much confidence in me as a leader, as a source of food, as someone who controls the environment, all of those things, that the neighbor walk is about the two of us close together, hanging out together and not feeding off of our environment so much.
You're bonding with your puppy and building relationship.
Yeah, that's the goal. If I go for a hike, it's kind of more the dog gets to be a dog. The puppy gets to go check things out, and I'm just teaching the puppy to stay on the path. So I'm teaching not to go into the grass, not to go over the cliff out here in SoCal. That's a thing that you have to teach the dogs.
It's a big thing.
And I'm teaching them to stay, keep their noses out of holes because of the rattlers. I am teaching boundaries, but they're getting to explore. And then if I come across dogs, I do say come, and it's a little bit different, but it's not near as structured. And so the dog does get to relax more and be just in their natural environment, using their nose a little bit more rather than having to focus on me the entire time. You want the best of both worlds. And then she said age. Age for a puppy walk, a neighborly walk. We sound like a broken record, but we always say in the house, backyard, front yard, in the hallway.
Sidewalk in front of the house at the earliest.
Yes, and it really just depends.
I don't know age. Yeah, I don't want to say age. I want to say temperament and also vaccination level. So
that you're comfortable with, because
yeah,
our comfort level is also different than a lot of yours.
It is, and we have a lot of clients that are following your vets, which we do respect, we understand. If your dog isn't fully vaccinated, that means that you can't not take him out. You just have to take him out in a different way. You have to avoid certain areas like grass patches that a lot of dogs frequent. Something I recommend to a lot of my clients is get one of those slings that goes across your chest, but don't put it on your chest. Put it on your ribs, like by your side. So it's almost like holding a coach bag. They can exist in the pouch. They can see a lot of things. I don't let people.
You're answering a lot of questions.
I know. I'm going real deep. All right. We're limited on time. Go.
So anyway, it really is up to you. For a hike, I like at least 2 booster rounds. And then the hike is on a long leash. So I've got like a thin long leash for a puppy, maybe 10, 15 foot. And that's what I'm working off of on a hike. But again, so much of it is how much work have you already done? Is the puppy ready for that? So keep that in mind.
Hikes are more about freedom. They're about having fun and enjoying your time. Just making sure your puppy is safe is the biggest concern for us.
Yeah, agreed. You want to grab one of those?
Yeah, we got Nellie Hayes. Any tips for 3-month Cavapoochons with separation anxiety?
Way to go.
I picked the first one.
To go.
I don't know enough about where the separation anxiety is. The first thing I'll say is you got to get them on a structure schedule, whether that's
good.
Crating, getting them outside to go potty, giving structured free time so it's not just roaming around or hanging out on the couch with you guys, but doing some basic level training, doing come for 25, 30 repetitions with their kibble, not just treats. So you're lowering the stimulation level. That's the kind of stuff that I'd work on. Try that for a little bit. You can go on our link in our bio and get a structure schedule, like a little skeleton for one, and then try it out for a week or 2. Check back in.
And the only other thing I would add is right now it's so early in the stage of what you're dealing with is to make sure you are not creating excitement or stimulation right when your puppy comes out or before they go back in. And so that's 15 to 20 minutes of no snuggling, petting. Like it's matter of fact, you go outside, you do your business. We're going to do some training. We might do some fetch, but just not a lot of emotion before and after. It's so important. You might have to cut it even more than that depending on the situation with your puppy, but we would just want more info. Start with that.
Cavas tend to be a little bit of a separation anxiety breed too, because they were raised and like literally bred to be a very strong companion animal. So it's easy for them to form the separation anxiety. Just make sure you're more preventative in the beginning with them. All
right, I'm gonna grab one off Instagram, TikTok. You're dying today. All right, so Mick Buchanan says 4-month-old lab is a lab. Of course, it's a lab.
Usually is.
Barks when not allowed to say hi to people and dogs.
It's almost like they're demanding.
Any recommendations to stop this? Yes. So I'm wondering if you're on a harness, you might want to get a little bit of head control. You could even do, I actually just did this with a woman. It worked really well because she needed harness for body control to start with. And so we did a slip leash and a harness for the first lesson. And it's to really be able to redirect appropriately. Then once you get the puppy redirected, then you can, reach in, take food. What's this name? On a slip lead, okay.
So on a slip lead is good, but do you have body control as well as head control? Because
no way, you are so awesome.
You're on it.
Okay, so I would say, I'm gonna just make sure that the slip leash isn't falling down. This is so common. Like, did any of you guys ever watch those old Cesar Millan shows or any of those types of shows? He was constantly stopping to readjust slip leashes. That's why he made that crazy, insane hold up collar.
We have one of those. It looks wild.
It didn't last very long because it looks so intense.
It looks like a neck brace if you broke your neck.
Yes. So I would just encourage you to really keep up with that as well. I mean, if it's good enough for Caesar. So what you could do is stop regularly and just, especially if you see a person way down the way, and just put that high on the neck, walk a few steps, let's go. instead of trying to convince your puppy that's already doesn't care about you overseeing other people and dogs, which I understand. I have a similar German Shepherd, believe it or not. Anyway, so I was about to say something, but it's irrelevant. See, I'm trying to catch myself.
I was waiting for you to say it. I was gonna come at you.
We're trying to do better at sticking to like the
so
questions.
we can answer more of your questions.
Exactly, we're trying to do better. Okay,
I'm worse at it.
When you redirect, it's all confidence, like let's go, turn and move. And then when you get like a few steps in, then pull out food. I would not try to use food to convince your puppy at this point, because I think you kind of already lost him a bit. So that would be my personal preference, and use movement. Do not try to go to the side and have him stop and settle as people and dogs are walking by. Do a 180 and keep going for a little while. Then you cross the street if they haven't already, or go around the cars. I mean, be safe, be careful. And then what you're gonna do across the street, or after you bubble around them, as they're walking by, even if they're gone, your puppy's still looking for them, you're gonna keep doing your turns.
Yep.
Stop and sit, 2 turns. Stop and sit, see, and do that till he'll take food. You know, like see what the threshold is for that.
And that means you can also go farther away to build a higher threshold.
Yes. Keep working around a distraction. Don't just get out of there and let it pass you by. Practice your obedience at different threshold levels as those distractions are going by on the opposite side of the street. But everybody always tries to cross right away, and that just doesn't work. You need a complete 180 to change their eyesight. That would be mine. Do you have anything else to add?
I just want to say what it's called. It's called proofing. When we start proofing new environments, higher levels of distractions, that's actually what helps you raise your threshold in your dog's brain. Proof, yay.
Oh, this one might be good for you. Danielle Cardona, 6-month-old mixed puppy, isn't eating as much as she used to. Her meals are unfinished. We thought it was teething, so we wet it, but she throws up. Any thoughts?
Right.
Vet, I'm just gonna say this first. Vet to rule out anything. Like you might have parasites, you might have some doubled up new teeth, old teeth. So go to the vet, rule anything out.
But also too, what was the age?
6 months.
6 months, so that means your puppy's not growing nearly as much as they were about 2 months ago.
That's true.
So cutting down the food might help you a little bit. Normally what I say is, Instagram's kind of pausing.
There we go, we're back.
All right, we're back. So what I would do first is, one, I would try to rule out the vet, make sure no parasites, no worms, no hookworms, anything like that, double gums, double teeth. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start measuring out the food, and whatever is remaining per meal, I'm just gonna remove from the meal before I even give it. A lot of times what happens when food is left in the bowl, and then we end up taking the bowl away, or we don't for a little bit, and they keep going back and seeing food's there, it lowers the value of food. They always have access to it. It's always available to them, so there's no need for them to eat the whole meal. Take away that little bit of extra, feed that to them for a day or two, and now when it looks like their appetite is a bit more voracious, they're kind of finishing their food and looking to you really quick to say, hey, where's the rest? The next meal, not that meal, don't give them extra when they look at you. That will create demanding behavior, barking, kind of like what the lab is doing with the dogs. But on the follow-up meal, give a little bit of extra. Measure it out, make sure you know your measurements, and then the next meal, give a little bit more. There's some left over, cut back to the original amount. You're figuring out how much they actually need. As they get older, as they get bigger, they might need a little bit more as they go through growth phases.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times you'll get to a certain age. In certain breeds, it could be younger, certain breeds, it could be older, where the growth is significantly less. The exercise is more maintenance, not so much puppy growth. And you're going to lower that food anyways to a certain amount. I'd also recommend that you might consider getting off puppy food, which is also higher in protein and has less filler in it.
I just want to say, this seems like it goes without saying, but it really doesn't, because people worry when their dogs don't eat.
Oh yeah,
What does your dog look like? You know, are they a healthy weight? Are they still a little rolly? Do they still have some extra on them, or are they healthy? Or are they a little skinny? Can you see through or easily feel like the top of your knuckles with a fist? Can you easily feel 2 to 3 ribs on your 6-month-old? Because maybe maybe there is a bit of an issue there. So some of that needs to come into play, and to not worry over the dog, to not like wait for them to eat, like walk away, relax. Don't put any pressure on them. Just keep some of those things in mind. There are some breeds that are meant to be very thin. Of course, I have to say that. I have one of those breeds, and everybody thinks I'm starving him to death, and I'm not.
We have one as well,
Yeah.
and people look at us like we're crazy when we
Yeah.
walk down the street. And vets, when we go there, they thank my wife for being so diligent on keeping her at a good weight. Our vets actually thank us. What's funny too,
Mine too.
you brought up Caesar Milan. The first Caesar Milan I ever watched as like a 10-year-old was of a dog who kept going to the water bowl but wouldn't drink. And when Caesar Milan came over, he said, "How often do you stand over that dog?" She goes, "Every time. I got to make sure she drinks." He says, "Stop it."
And they walked out of the room, and it took like 60 seconds.
Started drinking
and
the
the
water.
dog started drinking water. Yeah.
But she never saw it. So
Yeah.
it was one of those things where you can actually put more pressure on your dog by stressing them out, by watching them.
Yep. Okay. We're going to do... Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I'm trying to like be in the moment. I'm not prepared. All right, let's do one of these. 6-month-old no longer wants to go in crate. It's become a game. How do I get my command back? This is from Louisa. I love that name. I almost said it right. Okay, I love this question. And I did not proofread these. I just happened to pick one that I love. Because it happens to everybody. At some point, unless they just really love their crate, your adolescent dog is like, out of here. Like, I'm no longer this cute puppy that follows you around. That's because your follower phase of puppy, it's like having a baby, like where mom and dad are amazing and they're superstars. Yeah, that's gone. That's out of here now. You have an adolescent dog that doesn't care about you and is trying to look for ways to not listen to you on purpose because it's so fun.
The jokes I make to clients is when they hit about 4 to 6 months, 6 months old, they pretend like they forgot all the training for about 2 full weeks.
Yep.
And then you gotta do what she says to get them back on it.
So it's not to oversimplify it, but it is a simple fix. It's just hard to implement. Get that. Do not ask for crate or kennel up or house again for the next 2 weeks unless there's a leash on that dog. If you cannot reinforce a command that you're asking for, that you know they are consistently ignoring, stop asking for it. This goes for if your dog won't come to you in the yard. If that keeps happening and you didn't put a leash on your dog, you got to put your shoes on and get out into the yard. Don't even ask for come. You have to be able to reinforce what you're asking because you are creating this fun game. The dog didn't create it. You did accidentally.
Without realizing it.
By the way you're handling it. Now, the other thing I would say is have a little bit more fun with it. And what I mean by that is once a day, when your dog is back from the walk, or just have them sit in front of you for a piece of food and hook the leash on, you're going to go crate, we do house, down, piece of food, good, let's go. Do a little circle, not a big circle in like the living room, a little circle.
3 or 4 steps.
House, down, good food, let's go, like permission to come out. Then shut the door a few times. Make sure when you open the door, he doesn't come flying out. He has to wait for permission. Do that 10 to 15 repetitions every other day for the next 2 weeks, along with not asking for crate unless there's a leash on him so you can guide him in, and then you take the leash off. Do that, and I don't want to say it'll magically go away, but for most of you, that'll go away.
After 1 week, up to 2 weeks after doing it, that's when I also want you to start thinking about how hard your dog comes out of the crate as well.
Ooh.
If you've made a game, because it is a game, but it's a fun game now because it's mutual. He gets food, you get a dog in the crate, but what's going to happen is he's going to start blasting out of that crate for the let's go. What I do for when I release him out of crate is I don't say break when I let my dogs out of the crate. I do a let's go because I put all my leashes and my harnesses in the crate. I say let's go to bring them out. And the minute they shoot out like a bullet, I'm honestly turning them with my arm and I'm almost like even scooting the butt back in the crate. So it's like they do a woo, oh. And then I close the door and I pause, I open it.
For the smaller ones.
It's not a punishment or anything, guys. It's not supposed to be a correction. It's supposed to be a redirection. I'm using up that crazy energy and they're never getting past that gate with the crazy. When they start kind of just being like hesitantly walking out
calmly, yeah.
Good. Listen to my tone, guys. Good. Food. Good. Food. No. Good. Food. Let's go. and then it's a motivational tone, not an affectionate, high energy, high stimulation tone.
And Court, this goes into your question about your 3-month-old that is doing a lot of whining in crate, even though you've been using high value treats. Take everything that we just said and slow it down even more. And you can still use food, but I wouldn't use high value food in a way that's exciting. Like it would just be like what he said, good, drop a piece of food. If me bending over to give my puppy food in the mouth creates this, I'll just have them sit down and drop it in crate. And they'll hop up, that's fine. Then they have to wait. Lay down again. Wait. Your puppy's not even gonna lay down right away. 3-month-old, really excited, a little anxious in crate. That's okay. Just make sure you've got that firm boundary with the crate door. Like you go to open it and they kind of try to sneak out, shut it. You do that till they learn to back up, then put a leash on them, stop letting them out. When they, even if they back up, stop saying break and letting them fly out without a leash on, because you need to control the energy. And unless they're gonna pee on your floor, because that will happen first thing in the morning, certain times of day, it does depend. But when they're not gonna pee, especially, they turn around, they go right back in. And if you do need to take them out to pee, no joke, we go back and do 5 minutes of crate repetition until we go into the main part of the house. Because you're teaching them the energy you want, not only around crate, but how to come out of crate to be in your home. And so really slow everything down. We call it puppy meditation, dog meditation, where it's very slow. There's a pause in between everything. Work up to a sit or down in crate. But it's not like sit. It's not like puppy training. I would just quietly take a piece of food to the nose, lure down. I wouldn't even say anything, because this is not about obedience. This is about state of mind. Hopefully those tips will help.
The reason why we do all this, just to finish off, the reason why is because you are setting the tone of the next hour of your dog being out of the crate the second they come out of crate. They come out hot, you're probably going to have a bit of a more crazy hour of them being out of crate. Set that tone, you put them on the right path for the next hour.
Yep. I have a question challenge for us to answer it briefly.
Oh, stop.
Oh yeah, this is good. All right. Scent delicious. Are you serious?
I want to see, what's the name?
Scent delicious.
I'm delicious.
See, ew. Like we don't need that. We don't need that. I'm gonna look up.
Self-confidence is super important. Our whole world is based around self-confidence.
Okay, would you stop? We're defeating the purpose of this question. How long should a 9-week-old Aussiedoodle puppy be able to hold it in crate at night? My brief answer is at night it could be anywhere between 2 and 4 hours, and you have to play with the schedule. And when you're giving water, stop 3 hours before bedtime. You have to play with that to just figure out why. 9-week-old pea-sized bladder.
Breed?
Aussiedoodle. 9-week-old.
I said 4 to 6. So you said 2 to 4.
I said 2
so
to 4.
Meet us in the middle.
And 2 to 4 for a week, you know, and then it changes.
So, I mean, a 9-week-old puppy in a week, they're a whole different dog almost.
Yep.
Learning wise.
Okay, we're gonna do TikTok. What is up with you today? Where are our questions?
We have a lot of questions.
You
on
guys
TikTok.
are so. We do not.
There was like 3 of them that have already scrolled down.
What?
So many people join and leave those, so they don't stay up.
Then why are you not on TikTok answering
forgot.
them?
And I was
I'm
too
sorry,
embarrassed to make
TikTok.
notice of
That
it.
was my fault.
Oh,
I jumped to the conclusion, and I'm so sorry. But since he's not on top of his job, I'm gonna have to go back to Instagram because I'm the Instagram person. All right.
Ooh, the heat. The heat.
Can I tell you what the question was?
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm turning on my TikTok, Kimberly.
Who? Who is that?
That's
Kimberly?
my wife's nickname.
Okay. Danielle says 6-month-old mixed breed. Oh, from earlier. Loves her crate. I can go into the bathroom and the shower and she's fine, but once I leave the house, barks, cries, pants. How do I fix this? I would say, again, to try to answer something briefly for once, we actually already talked about separation anxiety earlier. I don't know if you missed that. So just make sure you're doing like a little bit of that, not too much excitement and structure, schedule, all that. But I would just say on top of it, make sure you're not giving her any precursors to you leaving. So in my head, my puppy goes in my bedroom or in a different room, and I don't know why it bugs me when you grab my phone.
I gotta see what the question
It
is.
bugs me. I don't know. It's like my purse. Like people can go through my purse, but I'm like, it's my phone.
I'm gonna spit on my hand and click buttons.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, sorry. So in the bedroom, dark room, I've covered the crate as long as I don't chew the covers. And I haven't put my shoes on, grabbed my keys, coat. I haven't done anything to prep that I'm leaving. She's just in there like she always is, 2 to 3 times a day. Turn on the white noise machine, turn on Friends on Netflix, TV, whatever it is. And then I, quietly leave. And then I've got all my stuff that I'm putting together. Make sure you're not giving any of those precursors. Mm-hmm. All right. You want to...
TikTok.
Okay. Hi, TikTok. I'm so sorry I shamed you earlier. I take it all back. It was his fault, not yours.
All right, this is an easy one. This is a quick one. From Mama Marty. Best training treat. My 8-week-old is not interested in the kibble treat. So a lot of dogs aren't necessarily interested in the kibble treat unless you've got like a lab or a retriever or something
that
super
happens.
driven. We create interest in the kibble treat. So let me be clear, you don't have to do this. You can go out there, look for real meat on Amazon. It's a great treat brand. Why is she coughing at me?
I kind of know, but I don't know what to say or where to get it or what it is or where it's online.
Puppy Academy has their own treat.
Are we
But
selling them?
it's new.
It's on our website.
Puppy Academy has her own treat and it's on her website.
And it's turkey. It's pure turkey protein.
Pure turkey
It's pure
protein.
turkey protein. Jerky.
We got the
Samples.
we got the samples last week. I didn't know they were available so soon.
There's a special code to get a discount.
All right, I'm gonna keep going because Bethany's gonna yell at me for lagging too long. Now.
No, I'm not. I need to know this information.
Ricky, you're getting me in trouble. With
But
Bethany.
anyway.
What we'd ideally suggest though is you still try to. What? Oh, sorry. I just look everywhere.
We've been shaming.
Half my eyes go freaking wide when I'm talking, anyways. So we actually recommend using kibble and using your food as your training treat. But when you train, your puppy doesn't want it. You try to get them to go as long as they can. They want 10 or 15 pieces, and at the end of that, okay, that's done. You take the treats away, and that's actually their meal as well. And then they might just skip that meal, and then the next meal they skip about half it. The next meal they eat almost all of it.
You're offering it
You're
to
not
train.
skipping meals. You're offering it for training.
Yeah.
And then when they don't want it, you take it away and you save it for the next meal. Yeah. What eventually starts happening is they start getting a little bit hungrier. They build more drive, more food drive, not just for the treats. And then one day you're going to do a training session. Your dog's going to eat 90% of their meal for kibble. And then the remainder you just put in their bowl. That's how we start introducing kibble as a treat. And we build motivation behind it.
Yep.
Perfect.
All right. Let's see. We have 1 minute. Oh, we can do this.
We started a minute late.
Nellie says 5-month-old German Shepherd is starting to bark at dogs, wanting to approach him and ignoring ignoring commands when doing so. I don't know what to do. I do.
This
I
is
know
your
what to do.
specialty.
I know
She
what to do.
loves her German Shepherds. I do too, but she does more of them.
I know what to do.
Then go!
Okay, so what you do is you stop going towards dogs. And I love this topic because I don't understand sometimes how hard it is in the city. I do understand that.
I do.
But I don't understand. It's like, think about it from your dog's point of view. I mean, come on. You're walking towards something. They're stuck on a leash, which is so unnatural. And so you're just building drive and frustration. And then before long, you've got the 10-month-old German Shepherd barking his head off. And then at 1.5 years, he's nipped someone. And then you're having to come to us and have us train them.
By the way, walking towards that dog on the leash is rewarding the dog.
It's a pressure cooker.
And that pressure, so eventually they start reacting.
I mean, go out on your busiest street and start heading towards traffic and see how you feel when the bus is coming at your face. I mean, that's what the dog is thinking. Seriously, you're walking down the street and you've got a car coming at you and you're like, is that car going to hit me? Are we going to say hi? Or is it going to go around me? You make the decision for your dog. Oh, that's a new one. I'm gonna use
you just
that.
tell her to walk in the street and go towards a bus.
I
That's like taking a long walk on a short pier.
It was just something to think about.
I thought of taking a long walk on a short pier.
Well, you're literal and weird. Okay. So anyway, no, I'm just teasing.
Don't walk into a bus.
I love this question because we get it all the time, and I'm super passionate about this breed and what doing this does to this breed. It's like, even if they're going to cross the street, you need to turn and get your dog's attention, especially a puppy, because even if you're on a sidewalk You got to imagine their eyes are not even in front like ours. They're to the side, almost like a horse. So they have way more peripheral. And so even 3 feet, by you on the sidewalk, a bike goes by, a person, it looks like it's coming right at them, And so you've got to dictate that. So it's getting enough drive with the dog. Maybe it's 50 feet away, 20 foot away, finding what that threshold is. Turn and let's go. Keep going. Stop and sit food. Keep going in the opposite direction. Then you cross the street, or they do. And then what I want you to do, I said this earlier, but what I want you to do is keep working your dog while that person is on the other side of the street. And don't just do it for dogs, do it for people too, please. You don't want to just do it when it's hard, do it when it's easy. You practice your obedience while that dog, person, car, bus is walking by. and so you keep doing turns. Stop and sit food if he'll take food. Turn, stop and sit food. And then he won't take food till they're all the way around the corner. That's okay. Keep working around those distractions, but stop putting him in the pressure cooker. Okay, I'm done. All right, are we good? Did you enjoy that?
Half the time I don't know if I'm married to you or my wife because you're both so sassy.
That's why I like Kimberly. All right, guys.
We are done, guys. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific time.
Wow. Wow. Bye, guys.
I almost said 12:30. Why did I almost say 12:30?